Hello, good morning. How are you doing today? It is wet and wild outside, very drizzly and starting to get cold as well. I've got some lovely necklaces for you to make today. They're really straightforward to do, really quick to make. A little bit of stringing, using some lovely chain, and we have placed 2 toggles onto this necklace, so you can open it up from either side, and the toggles become like a little bit of a feature really in terms of the clasp. We've got some lovely spacer beads for you, and we've got a mix of colours. So we have 3 on a gold colourway with quite, I think, autumnal colours, and 3 on a silver, which are a little bit more kind of, I mean, they could be spring, but I'm seeing kind of like icy winter colourways with this, so a little bit in keeping with the weather that we've got approaching. So I hope you're all well today. I hope you've had a really nice start to the week. It is, of course, Wednesday today, so I hope you've all been keeping well and keeping warm and keeping making. Let me know in the comments, of course, what have you been making? Have you been making anything nice lately? It doesn't have to be jewellery. I'm nosy. I like to know what it is that you've been doing in terms of your hobbies and just life in general. Good morning to Rachel. She's in a very wet barrow. Good morning, and peace and love back to Anastasia. Good morning to Jan. She says, good morning, Natalie and everyone from a miserable Sudbury. And Just Me's in as well, saying good morning to all. So I'm going to take you over to the website and I'm going to let you see what we've got. There is a multi-buy offer on, I think, as well today. So if you did want to mix these lovely large pearl colours, I think we've got quite a few colours that would look lovely together. And of course, if you wanted to put one of the silver colourways on the gold instead, you absolutely could. Good morning to Nina in a wet Leicester, and Camille saying good morning as well. She says she loves my mushroom. I've made a mushroom necklace, put it away in a box, so can't show you it, but yeah, I've been busy creating kind of I suppose woodland and autumnal type things lately. Good morning to Jan. She says, I'm currently knitting a baby blanket. Oh, lovely. What colour are you doing it, Jan? Right, okay, let me take you over to the website and I can show you the goodies. Morning, Esther. She says, I'm actually on time. You are. Thank you for joining me today. So over we go to the website, which is totallybeads.co.uk. This is where you can get all of your kits and all of your goodies, and there's all sorts on there, lots of different makes to help inspire you in your creations. So click into the video tutorial category. You can go on the main window here or in the drop down menu from the top. We do ship worldwide, of course. So if you want to change your currency, you can do that here, but it will show you our recent makes at the top of the page. But obviously if you scroll down, it's endless. I'm going to go into this one here, which is the Moyra twin toggle necklace. I did put this together some time ago. It was a very straightforward make. There's a little bit of an issue with the banner picture at the moment. I'm hoping afterwards we'll be able to update that so you can see exactly what it is the Moyra twin toggle necklace looks like. Here they are for you. They're all £6.49, and I think it makes 2, but I'll double check for you. But you can get 2 for 10 as well if you wanted to mix and match those colours, or if you just wanted to make more of the same colour, of course you can get that and the offer will still apply. So we have a lovely aqua on the silver. We have a cobalt blue. I love that colour today. It's really loving that colour. That is on the gold. We have a French grey on the silver colourway, a mahogany rose on the gold. We have a pink on the silver and a teal on the gold as well. I think the mahogany rose, the cobalt and the teal would look beautifully mixed together. I think this particularly with the mahogany rose is going to give some lovely autumn vibes. So if you wanted to buy one standalone kit, they're £6.49 today, or you can get 2 for £10, which is an absolute bargain. I'll show you exactly what is in each kit. It does make 2 necklaces up. So again, you could change your design. If you wanted to add another row of pearls in between instead of that chain, you're going to get plenty in your kit to do that with. I would probably just have maybe 1 bead less in the center so it hangs nicely. You could make this longer as well if you wanted to, by adjusting that chain length, or of course making it shorter by just adjusting the chain that runs along the back of the neck. So you're going to get enough in your kit for just £6.49 to make 2 necklaces. You're going to get all of your glass pale round beads, your chain, your toggle clasps, and each necklace has 2 toggle clasps on there. We've got lovely acrylic spaces just to kind of make sure those beads stand out and look absolutely beautiful. We've got some jump rings for you, Callottes, Crimp Beads, and your Tigertail Wire as well. Really easy stringing project. It's just a case of assembling it, and I'll show you exactly how to do that. If you're wondering what the measurements are of each of the components, we're using the 4mm acrylic spacers. They'll obviously be in silver or gold, depending which colourway that you've gone for. So there'll be a gold finish or a silver look to those necklaces. I'm using 10mm glass pale round beads, so they're obviously going to change, this one being the aqua, but they're 10mm in size, so nice large chunky gorgeous beads, but it's quite a lightweight wear because obviously we're using the acrylic spacers, and those glass beads will make sure that it's not too heavy. We've also got your metal toggles, which are 16mm in size, and I'm using a twisted oval chain at the moment, so you'll get that in either the gold or the silver. And you've got the dimensions of the loops. On one of them, we're going to use 2 lengths of chain. On the one around the back of the neck, I've cut to 30 centimeters, which is about 12 inches, and I'm going to use that, the big link to the big link. And then on the smaller chain, which runs here in the middle of the necklace in the center, I'm going to cut about 23 centimeters, which is about 9 inches, and I'm going to use the small link to the small link on that. I'll explain how that works. So that's everything you're getting in the aqua kit. Those beautiful 10mm pearls and those lovely chain and clasp findings. This one is your cobalt blue. I think this looks beautiful against the gold. Again, everything you want to get is in that kit for you to make 2 necklaces. So you've got your components down the bottom. If you want to add any extra in there, you absolutely can. If you just press quick add, it will add that extra strand of pearls or that extra chain or spacers. You get so many spacers for £2. They're acrylic, they're really, really lovely to use, got a lovely size drill hole. If you wanted to buy a pack of them, you're getting 1,200 pieces there or thereabouts. I don't know who counts them out in the warehouse, and they're only £2, so absolute brilliant price. That is what you can do with those components, or you can change it up if you just want to use a little bit of, your own inspiration to make something a little bit different using the same. I would love to see whatever you make, whether you make these exact designs or whether you make something a little bit different. This is your French grey. I think this is, I'm going to demo with this one today. Really, really lovely. Again, these colours are going to look gorgeous if you did want to mix them, if you wanted to make the most of that 2 for 10 offer. Here is your mahogany rose. Really pretty. It's got a gorgeous kind of, mahogany blush rose colour to them. Just really, really, really gorgeous. I'm loving them as well. I'm liking the gold colourways, I think, at the moment. I've noticed I'm starting to wear more gold jewellery. I was always a silver wearer, but I'm starting to wear a little bit more gold. And I think I'm just maybe liking the warmer tones. This one here is your pink. Again, that'd look lovely with the mahogany rose. So just popping those little silver spaces in between. And lastly, but by no means least, we have the beautiful teal on the gold colourway. So each kit is going to provide you with all of the components to make 2 necklaces that look like this. And they are fabulous. £6.49, or buy 2 for just £10. So an extra wonderful saving there for you. Head back into the comments and then I'll come down on the mat and we'll get making. It's a really quick make, or it should be a quick make today. In terms of your tools, 2 pairs of pliers to open up the links on the chain. I'm not cutting the chain, I'm just opening up the links using them like the jump rings. I'm going to use 2 pairs of flattened chain nose pliers as well, which are going to open up the chain and the jump rings. I'm going to use my wire cutters to cut my tiger tail, which I haven't got out to hand. I knew I was missing something. Where's my tiger tail gone? There. Yeah, I think that's pretty much about it. Something to maybe crimp beads down if you want to use a crimping tool, or you want to use, I'm just going to use a pair of little pliers just to kind of flatten them down. And then that's all you need. Really straightforward today. So let me see if I've missed any comments or questions. If you do have any questions, do let me know and I'll do my very best to answer. Good morning to Sally Ann. How are you doing? She says it's miserable in Barnsley. It's just wet and horrible, isn't it? Marjorie's in as well, saying good morning, ladies. Good morning to you. Good morning to Camille. Says didn't make anything crafty, but I tried going back to making some bacon instead. Ooh, what you baking? Baking cakes? Yummy. Let me see any questions. Mina says, I bought 4 of Kitty's hematite nugget bracelets and finished that last night. I now need to make Labubu studs and will be gluing my fingers too. Oh, they're those like little creature type things, aren't they? Be interested to see what they look like. I'm not down with the kids. Good morning to Joanne. She says, good morning, Natalie, and everyone from a wet Coventry. Hello to Anne in a soggy Yorkshire. Good morning to Rachel. Camille's made some yummy butter biscuits, she says. Nearly burnt the meringue. I forgot to convert the Fahrenheit back to Celsius. Yeah, I don't know. I'm living out of a microwave and an air fryer at the moment. Showing off with your oven. I'll get my kitchen done soon. Starting to get walls are starting to go up, which is lovely. It's too wet today though. I think they're not here, my builders, so be nice and quiet today. But yeah, I wouldn't, not blaming them. I wouldn't want to be out in this weather either. It's like a trench outside. Good morning to Lisa. Hello to Carol. Rachel says, love this style of chain, very sophisticated. Yolanda's here as well. Good morning. She says, good morning. Halfway through the work week. It's 5 a.m. in the morning, and I think the morning's come too fast for her. Good morning to Heather. Anastasia saying she loves the cobalt colour. Good morning to everybody who's here. Yeah, Amina's just explaining to me what they are. Yeah, no bacon butties for the builders today. Well, if they come this afternoon, they can have one. Hello, Phoenix. How are you doing? How's Pup doing? Hope you're okay. I will get back to you soon. I've been a little bit chaotic with the build, so if anybody has sent me any emails or anything like that, I apologise if I'm a little bit slow to respond to anybody. Heather says it's pouring down here. Right, it's a day to stay in, it's a day to keep warm, and it's a day to get making. So I'll take you down on my mat and let's get to it. So this is the mahogany rose, really, really beautiful colour. Moving into your cobalt blue. Am I shaking the table? Why is the phone wobbly? We've got this gorgeous teal colour. I think these all look just beautiful together. If you wanted to do an autumn look, they're just divine. Loving those together. Just got such a rich warmth to them. So they're all your gold colourways. And then moving on to the silver. Obviously they look better when they're on because they just hang so much nicer. This one is what I'm going to be working with today on my demonstration. It's the French grey. I'll be good today. I won't mix the beads up. This is the French grey. We also have this gorgeous aqua. Let me get this. And then this beautiful pink coloured one as well. So I think they look a little bit icy, a little bit pretty. I don't know. feeling rather seasonal. So for me, I'm kind of feeling wintry colours with this. So these are the ones that I've put on the silver. Of course, you can open them up either way. So when you wear them, this chain here is going to fit around your neckline. So long, I'm just trying to fit it into the camera. So you can open up from either side. You can place that on and then just close it up using that lovely toggle, or you can go from this side because they both open. So whichever way you want, but this just giving us the opportunity to kind of use the clasps a little bit of feature just to dangle the chain and those beautiful 10mm size beads and 4mm acrylic spacers through the middle. So in terms of the chain, you can adjust this chain length to how you want it to sit. So the one at the back here, if I open this up, if you wanted to make this smaller or larger, you absolutely could. I'm going to cut this section or open up this jump rings, this chain link rather, just like I would a jump ring. And I'm going to take a length of 30 centimeters, which is 12 inches. Of course, you can adjust that to your preference. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up, so I'm using the large link. You can see it goes large and small links throughout this chain. It's going to be large link to large link on this back section. And then when we get into the section that hangs here with the beads, I'm going to cut about 23 centimeters of this chain, which is going to be about 9 inches. And that is going to be from the smaller link to the smaller link. You don't have to do it that way round, but I do think it just balances it nicely if you do the same size link on each side. So let's get doing that then. Let's get the chain out, and do drop me comments if I've missed any questions or there's anything you'd like to know. I will do my absolute best. Joanne says, good thing with all this rain, hopefully the canals will start being opened again after the lack of water. So many people who I think that live on the canals are getting stuck. Didn't even think about that though. My brother-in-law went on a little canal boat trip with his friends this week. And it was a very wet day, but they had a lot of fun. Rachel says, off to an art and craft this afternoon run by Age UK. I'm a volunteer. Have a wonderful time. Do you know what you're making, Rachel? Maybe make these necklaces. Right, I'm going to start with the chain. So I'm going to need 2 clasps. So you're going to get your toggle for each one. So you have like your O-ring and your T-bar just there. So they're going to go together, and I'm going to take my chain. So I'm just going to get my ruler and I'm just going to measure. If I'm doing long link to long link, I'm going to use this one as it is. If I am opening and closing these though, I want to make sure that they're closed properly afterwards. So just like you would a jump ring, just take your pliers and straighten it up. So I've got a large link already at the end of this. So I'm going to measure about 30 centimeters, which is about 12 inches. And I'm going to finish on another large link, which is this one here. So I'm going to take my pliers and I'm going to find the opening. It isn't soldered. It has got a little opening. There you go. So all I'm going to do is just, as I would a jump ring, just accommodate for the twist that's already in that link. Just twist it off, and then making sure it's closed. I want those 2 pieces to be aligned again. So just making sure they're nice and flush. So this is going to be the chain for the back of my neck. And I'm just going to attach that on with a little jump ring. So I'm going to attach it to the round part of my toggle. So my jump rings that I'm using are outer diameter 6 by 1. So you can do this at any stage and whatever step you want. But I'm just going to give that a little twist, and I'm going to put it through. So that's ready to go. So I'm going to use the circular part of the clasp. Usually when you're doing a necklace, you want to make sure you've got a bar on one side and the round part of the toggle on the other, but not for this design. Just making sure I'm closing up that jump ring so I've got them nicely aligned. So a little grip onto one side, and I'm going to just, with my dominant hand, turn it away to open and bring it back towards me to close. For the next section, I want to have my length of chain about 9 inches, which is about 23 centimeters, and I want it on the small link. So I'm just going to measure that out against my ruler, there or thereabouts. And again, you can open the larger link or the smaller link, whichever's easiest. It's probably easier to open the larger one and then just thread off the smaller section. So I can pop that to the side. That's now finished. So there you go. I've got my smaller link there. That's going to go on the inside. Now I'm going to take my tiger tail. Now the tiger tail, I'm going to cut probably about, did I say how long I want my tiger tail length to be? Don't know. I don't know how much is going to be in your kit. 30 centimeters, there you go. So you're going to get 30 centimeters of your tiger tail, and that's going to be 12 inches as well. Say I made this quite a while ago, so I'm not quite sure of the measurements. I did write it down though, so I knew. Right, so I'm just going to take my tiger tail off the reel. There we go. And I'm going to cut 30 centimeters or 12 inches of that. Got a little kink in it there, so I'm just going to run it through my nail just to straighten out any bends. So your tiger tail's got a nice sturdiness. It's perfect for this type of project. You want to make sure that you have something that's going to hold the weight of your beads. And the tiger tail is lots of thin wire fibres. It's in a nylon coating. So it's nice and strong and nice and sturdy, and it's got a lovely kind of curve to it as well. It will hold its shape. I'm going to start by attaching my callotte and my crimp beads to one side. That's going to mean I don't need to have a bead stopper. I can just thread on directly then, because the pattern of what I'm making is literally just going to be spaces alternating between the beads. So I'm going to take my callotte. I'm just going to cut off that teeny tiny little bent bit, and I'm going to slide my callotte up onto the end. So I've took the tiger tail and it's just going to go through the end, so the opening of the callotte will be this way round. I'm then going to take 2 spacer beads, and as always I'm going to double crimp, not spacer beads, crimp beads. I'm going to double crimp just to make sure that it's nice and strong and sturdy. So I'm going to take one of those up right to the very end of the tiger tail and just gently press down. And you'll see now it's gone from being a round bead shape to flat. And that's going to hold my callotte in place. So gentle press onto those crimp beads. And then I'm going to slide the callotte over both of them. Both of those crimp beads are going to fit nicely inside of the callotte, so you're not going to see it. It's going to give a nice professional finish. And then I'm just going to close it over with my fingers just to get those 2 little sections of the loops aligned. And then with my chain nose pliers, I'm just going to press on the outside of it. You don't need to put too much pressure on, but you can see that just brings it together and closes it up nicely. I'm struggling, I think, with this focus today. Now all I'm going to do is I'm going to thread on my spacer beads, which are the 4mm acrylic spacer beads. I'm going to be using 19 of those in total and 18 of my 10mm pearls. So I'm going to just pop a little few of those on the mat, and I'm going to start with my spacer, and I'll end the pattern with my spacer as well. So just pop that spacer bead on and let that fit just underneath the callotte. I'm now going to get my 10mm pearls out. So I'm going to be using 18 of these in this design. And these are the beautiful French grey. There you go. So just tie that off. Let's check. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8. So spacer on. And then I'm just going to feed on that beautiful bead. I love the size of these. And I'm just going to alternate between the acrylic spacer beads and the pearls. So spacer, glass pearl, spacer, and so on. They really are a really quick make to do. So if you wanted to multi-buy and you wanted to mix up your colours, just slide a spacer off, you could alternate the colours of your beads, of your glass pearls, if you wanted as well. Oh, Rachel says we're doing pictures in chalk pastels and she's doing a kingfisher. That sounds gorgeous. Morning, Kath. How are you doing? My dad started going to an art class, and it's lovely seeing him doing something other than work, to be honest, and being creative. He's always been good at drawing and painting, but I've not seen him do anything for absolute years. So he's been doing still life and portraits and landscapes. He's very good at landscapes. He's a bit like Bob Ross. And he's done me a lovely picture, which is going to hang on my wall when I have my walls. So alternating until I've added on all 18 of my pearls with the spacers. And of course I've started with a spacer, so I'm going to end with a spacer as well, just to keep that nice and balanced. Now I've cut 30 centimetres of Tigertail, about 12 inches. I don't need that, I've got quite a lot left, but I always like to just have a little bit more. What I found when I first started making is if I'd cut exactly the length I needed, I was really struggling to keep hold of the Tigertail when I was putting my calotte on to try and kind of finish that off. So I'm going to get my other calotte out and another 2 crimp beads. So on with the calotte, and I want to make sure that my calottes are kind of facing in the same direction. I'm going to pop on my crimp bead, but I'm only popping one on at the moment, and I'm going to let that sit right inside. I've created a curved shape with my Tigertail. I want to make sure all the beads are up flush against the calotte. I haven't got any like major gaps and spaces in there, but I'm going to create that curve just to get that tension right. And then with my pliers, I'm going to push that crimp bead right down inside the calotte to make sure it's nice and close. And then I'm just going to flatten that out, just like I did with the other. If I lift it up, can you see it in there? Still double crimping, but I find it's easier just to pop it on one at a time. And then I'm going to let that crimp bead fall on top of the last one. and then again just press down to flatten. Now with my cutters I'm going to trim off any excess tiger tail, so give it a little bend to the side. Make sure you're not cutting through the crimp, just cutting off any excess, and then again closing the crimp over, the callotte over the crimp beads, and then gentle pressure onto the rounded section of the callotte to close it up. All I need to do now is assemble it. It's really that straightforward. So I'm going to take my jump rings. I'm going to need another 2 of those, and with my pliers I'm going to open up one, and I want that chain to sit inside that smaller length. So I'm going to take my beaded section, I'm going to hook through the callotte, and then I'm going to take the chain and I'm going to attach on that small link, the last link, onto the jump ring as well. And then I'm going to add on the bar from the toggle, and then close that jump ring up. You can take it past the point of those 2 ends meeting, and it should just spring back aligned. Heather says she's loving the teal and the grey. I'm liking the autumn colours, though I think the French grey would look lovely with the pink as well, to be honest. So now I'm going to do the same on the other side, opening up that jump ring. I'm going to take the last link of the chain and slide that on, and then pop the callotte from the other side of the strand on, just to make sure that that's sitting in the middle, and then taking the toggle part of the clasp and adding that on, making sure it's fully closed. If it clicks, you're on to a winner. Rachel says, I apparently inherited my art side from my granddad, but never saw his pictures. My grandma, oh dear, okay. She says, some were done in life classes. Are they like nude portraits? Zakia, hello to you. Top of the morning to you, Natalie, and everyone. Top of the morning to you as well, my love. Right, there you go. Done. All you need to do is just attach one to the other, like so. And I'm going to take the toggle clasp through the ring, so it will sit like this. Shall I pop it on? I mean, I'm not wearing the best jumper to show it off, but you can see whereabouts it sits. Don't know who I inherited my arty side of. Guess my dad. Don't know. I got a lot of musicians in my family. I'm not all that musical. So I'm just going to open up one of the toggles, whichever one I fancy. And it's a nice, easy necklace to put on as well, because your clasp is essentially at the front. Really should have thought about what I'm wearing, shouldn't I? Let me fix my camera. There you go. It will sit like this, and your toggles will face outwards. And then to take off, either way, just like so. So these are your Moyra double toggle necklaces today. I'll show you them again on the website because they are a very quick make, and we are done. But there's no point going around the houses, is it? Sometimes you just want a nice quick make to make. So head over to totallybeads.co.uk. You will find, if you head into our video section there, that you'll find these lovely necklaces. We've got them in aqua, cobalt, French grey, mahogany rose, and we also have them in pink and teal. They're either on the gold colourway or they are on a silver colourway. Each kit is just £6.49, and it's going to make 2 necklaces up for you. And we also have a buy 2 for £10. only. So if you want to multi-buy, you absolutely can. So that is it. That's me done. I hope you like them. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am not sure what I'm making. Wait there. I've got the wrong page up. Remove. There you go. If I've got my diary to hand, what am I making on Monday? I think it might be another necklace. Could be a bracelet. I don't know. I'm all over the place at the minute. I don't know who I am. Joanne says a lovely, easy make. Rachel says we're a musical family on both sides. Phoenix says looks lovely. Esther says great make, love it, and must put it into my basket. They're a bargain price today, Esther. So I would encourage you to. Very pretty and quick. Thank you, Natalie. You're most welcome. Rachel, blink and you miss it. Oh, thank you, Zakia. Says absolutely, totally, elegantly made. Thank you. Joanne says I got my arty side from my dad and my granddad on my mum's side. Also music from my dad and granddad. Does anyone play any musical instruments? Just to note, my instrument is my voice. I don't play any. I have a go, but no, I'd love to be musical. I'd like to be able to play the piano. That's what I'd like to play. And a keyboard, had a guitar. I think I had a recorder once. Recorders are banned in my house. My little boy always asked for a recorder, and they were doing it in school, and I was a bit mean. I said to him, if you can tell me one famous recorder player, you can have one. And yet we're still not got one, so we'll see. Christmas is on its way, isn't it? Our Jan, you're most welcome. She says thank you for another great make. Phoenix says my making's on the back burner, no space, tables covered with bits and keeping safe from the puppy. And bits for Meg's memorial box. We're sending you loads of love, Phoenix. I know. If you don't know, Phoenix is lovely, lovely doggy Meg, passed over Rainbow Bridge. So she has got another lovely puppy, but we know what a big part of the family that they are and how much she adored her. So I am sending you loads of love. She says she misses making. Pretty make, thanks, Kath. Thanks, Mina. Go on then, Joanne. What do you play? Oh, we're just talking about musical instruments now. What do you play? I hope you all have a wonderful day. Oh, Camille, I can play the keyboard with my right hand. I was going to read that as with my right foot. Not so good with the left. Have a wonderful day. Be creative, whether that be with music, like Joanne playing the mandolin, guitar, clarinet, and flute. Wow. Wow, flute, get you. How beautiful, how lovely. If you aren't musical, then get making. You could sew, you could bake, or you could make some wonderful jewelry. And if you need any help or advice, check out the Totally Beads website. Not for the baking. Don't come and ask me for any baking tips. Have a lovely week, everybody. I'll see you Monday, and it'll be a surprise to us both what I'm making then. So take care and have a lovely week.